Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Whether you're watching us live at sktrading.live or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we've got you covered. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, I'm Stephen Kalayjian and welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, today, so-so day, very calm, very still here, not a lot of volatility, but guess what? Great patterns, really great patterns today, especially the last pattern at the end of the day. The 60-minute time frames pushed the S&Ps up from the 58.11 all the way up to 58.30 off the 60-minute time frame, and it came late in the day, but we identified it and we saw it, and that's what matters. So many great patterns today in Avago, in Palantir, especially on the opening. Tesla hit the 283.5 on the opening and dropped all the way down to 271. I told you I'll get that Tesla. Okay, then the 60-minute time frames, which I'm going to show you, the big positive MACDs and the oversold condition, and Tesla went from the lows to the 271 and change and closed on the highs above 288. Great day there. Great day on the Qs, the spiders, the index futures. Meta had some great shorts. A lot of great patterns set up on the opening, and I can't wait to show you. What else here? Great patterns in MSTR, Coinbase. Great patterns off the, again, the patterns today were the 2 o'clock patterns off the 30-minute time frames. Got deeply oversold again. The S&Ps, the spiders, Qs, everything pretty much aligned there. And then finally around the 2:30, about the 2:30, 3 o'clock, those 60-minute time frames, I told my community, look out. Look at this oversold condition into the positive MACD, the rising ADX. Get ready, they're gonna go, and that's exactly what happened. Caught the longs on the S&Ps, all right, and there goes Bitcoin making new highs now, and a lot of really great patterns. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about here. So this is the pullback here. Let me just get to the 30-minute here, and I'll put the 60 here. Well, yesterday when the 60-minute time frame reversed, look at this positive MACD. It's like the width of the Atlantic Ocean here. Right, ADX is still rising. Look at the yellow dots into the blue here. Very beautiful, great long pattern here. And then what you can see here is that the 50 oversold condition into the positive MACD, buying pressure ADX. And this is why exactly, look at how the price held right up into the 10 bar and slightly above on the 60. But on this pattern, you can see the deep oversold condition, even on the 30, the yellow dots, which is the price within the algorithm. But this was the killer one right here. The oversold condition right into the positive MACD, and the S&P futures rallied roughly 19 from, I would say, probably from the 3 o'clock all the way up. And then I got to push down to 12 again around the 335 and then push right back up. Really great pattern there. Let me show you Tesla, okay, on the bigger time frame. If I could type, that would help, okay. You see Tesla here. You can see Tesla got all the way down today, down to the 271.42. Now, when you see this positive MACD like this rising ADX, okay, look at this oversold condition, which eventually got down to a lot deeper. Look at the yellow dots. Tesla had nowhere to go but up. So this pushed down in Tesla down below the 271, 272 level. And you can see what Tesla did. Just look at the ADX rising on the 30 as well. Here's the 5-minute time frame on Tesla, pushed up and closed to new highs. Look at the rising ADX on the 5. And then you can see here on Tesla on the 15, you caught a really good long here. Here was the first long off the 15 earlier. That was the first low. And here's the second low off the 15 towards the end of the day at 2 o'clock. Tesla ran roughly $12 off that 15-minute time frame. Again, now the MACDs are above the pivot. Look at the 5-minute time frame. Big buying pressure on the 5. The ADX is rising. The MACDs are going along with the new high. This is an absolute Picasso, okay? Absolute great pattern here. Let's look at Tesla on the opening, though. Let's look at Tesla on the opening. So this was Tesla on the opening, making the new high, all right? And look what Tesla did. It got absolutely kabooshed. We were shorting Tesla above the 283.50. The high here was 283.65, and you blinked. I'm not even joking around. You blinked, and Tesla got absolutely kabooshed. It dropped literally $8-9 like that. All right. Then let's look at Lilly, another great short in Lilly. We had the highs in Lilly. Look at this Lilly making new highs here. Look at the guy who paid $874.92 in Lilly. Guess what? He jumped down 22. All right. Look at Lilly making new highs, and the MACD is non-confirmation. Let's look at the 30-minute on Lilly. Okay. It really was off the 60. All right. Here's the high and Lilly. The MACDs on the 60 could not confirm. It was nothing but a complete disaster. And when Lilly reversed to sell on the 15-minute time frame, well, the highs are in for the 85% of the time. The highs are in for the day. Okay. Let's look at Meta. Meta was a real big sell divergence here on the 15. On let's see here. Meta pushed up here. Let me see the 60. It was at the 60. All right. I caught this short in Meta. Right. Meta, I caught the short off the deep overbought condition, a 97.98 on Meta. And you can see when Meta reversed to sell right here, the highs are in for the day. However, when because Meta is still so strong on the 60 and on the 30-minute time frame, the MACDs are positive. The ADX is rising. The big buying pressure. So when the algorithm reverses to sell on the 15, what happens is when the algorithm reverses to sell on the 15, you go from a trend to a buy disconnect. 2 out of 3, the 30 and 60 are in buy mode, and then what happens? Bam. You buy the pullback on the deep oversold. Now you use the 30-minute time frame indicator 4 as a stop in case it reverses, because you don't want to go from a buy disconnect and you're long to a sell disconnect where then you got to look for shorts. So in this example, when Meta reversed to sell, okay, and got down below the 23, 24 level, you could have started accumulating Meta against the 30 and the 60-minute time frame, especially that the ADXs were rising on both time frames. And you can see it here. Here's the 60-minute. The ADX is rising. Let's look at the 30. ADX, well, the ADX was rising here, and then now it flattened out. Now, tomorrow, well, we'll get into tomorrow in a minute, but that's MSTR. Great patterns in MSTR. Again, the 15-minute time frame, 2 great pullbacks on MSTR, but we shorted MSTR on the opening right here at 1045. I called shorts above. I said look to short 40 to 43. Okay, the high was 342.85, and MSTR, look again here, MSTR made a new high in the 60-minute time frame. The MACDs could not confirm. When you get the 60, now the 15s are a great pattern, but when you get the 60-minute time frame making a new high non-confirmation, let them have them. Okay, that's the big one. The bigger the time frame, the more the move, right? MSTR roughly dropped about, I would say about $8-9 on that. Okay, so again, the bigger the time frame on the non-confirmation, on the sell divergence in a positive trend, you let them have them. Making new highs, non-confirmation. Beautiful pattern there. Coinbase, another one on the 15-minute time frame. You can see 15-minute time frame. You made the new high here on Coinbase, and that got kabooshed down 3. When Coinbase reversed to sell here on the 15, okay, the highs are in for the day. Again, you could take longs against the 30 and the 60-minute. Again, it got deeply oversold here again, and then it ran about $3 to $4 at the end of the day. Okay, beautiful pattern there. All right, Avago, AVGO, finished. When Avago, this is one of my strongest patterns. Okay, this is one of my strongest strategies. Coming in, Avago was negative on the 60. Okay. And the 15-minute time frame. When Avago reversed to sell on the 30-minute time frame, I said I would look to short Avago 191.50 up to 192.50. I believe the high was like 190, 190.60, 190.70. I'll look at it. Avago immediately within, I would say, probably about 45 minutes or so, maybe 50 minutes within the hour. Okay. Avago off the 15-minute time frame got absolutely kabooshed more than $2. And I'll show you the trade. So here, this is Avago. You can see the 15-minute time frame is in sell mode coming into the day. Okay. You can see it here. The 60 minutes in sell mode. All right. And you can see nothing but right from the opening here on Avago. Here's 325. We gap down. I caught this really great short in Avago right here. This is the pattern, right? Here's the 30-minute time frame correlating with the 15, and it also correlated with the 60-minute time frame. What do you look to do? You short the first bounce on the 15, and here it is, or the 30. Avago 91.60, 91.50. Look at it. Avago got absolutely kabooshed. Especially look at the negative MACDs here on the 30. Look at the negative MACDs here on the 60. Avago's in trouble here. Okay. Look at this Avago. Look at this negative MACDs. ADXs are rising. Look at that. Beautiful pattern. When you see a negative MACD like that, okay, on the 60-minute time frame, and you get that bounce after the 30 correlates with the 15 and the 60. When you get that bounce on that short, that's a monster short. You got a monster short. I'm teaching you something that you visually can see. It works. Okay. You can see the 30-minute time frame. It correlated. You're in an established trend. Negative MACDs. Okay. Some good, decent selling pressure on the indicator too. The ADXs are starting to turn up. You short the first bounce on the 15 and look at the bounce on the 30-minute. Okay. The bounce right into the 10-bar moving average. This is a Picasso right here. Look at this. This is an absolute Picasso. Trust me, when you hit the high of 191.55, this oscillator was probably in the 88.90 range on the 30-minute time frame. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Avago made the new low. Okay. Again, beautiful bear flag here. If you take the 15-minute time frame, this is the short in Avago right here. This was the first one here at 11, and then here's the second one. This is where I said look to short above 190, 150. Now, we only went a nickel into our range, but it went right into the 10-bar weighted moving average. Again, look at the negative MACDs here, and then let me show you Avago on the 15-minute time frame. Look at this beautiful pattern. I call this strategy a double red short. Okay, so I know all three time frames are in sell mode. And then what happened when Avago reversed to sell on the 5-minute time frame? You short every bounce. 1, 2, 3 bounces. 3 great shorts in Avago. So what happened was Avago was negative on the 15 to 30 in the hourly, and when Avago reversed to sell on the 15, you look to take any overbought condition on indicator 3 on the 5-minute. Let them have them. Okay. Beautiful pattern in Avago. Okay. What else here? Meta Avago. What is this one? Okay. Apple. Let's look at Apple here. When Apple made a new high today, you can see Apple on the 5. Look at when Apple made a new high here today. Okay. Apple made a new high today on the 15-minute time frame, 223.95. Now, Apple actually has some really good patterns in it, okay? Apple, you had a nice oversold condition here on the 15. Now, remember, Apple's still bullish on the 30 and 60-minute time frame, all right? If you look here on the 15-minute time frames, look at the ADX rising on Apple. Positive MACD. The MACD is actually going high with the price new high. Look at the rising ADX here, big buying pressure. So when Apple was getting deeply oversold, not once but twice, okay, you can see Apple running about $1 each time. Now, Apple, okay, even though you're in a bullish trend, an Apple on the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frame, what did Apple do? Look at the bounce here. 223.95, you're making new highs. The MACD's non-confirmation dropped, set up again. We caught the short here at the end of the day, 224.10, even though it dropped about roughly 37 cents at the end of the day. But Apple, Apple, all right, had two great long patterns on the 15. And again, when you see the 60-minute time frame like this, well, actually, let's go this way. Let's do the 60 here, okay, and we'll do the 30 here. Okay, if you see the pullbacks here, look, I mean, the MACDs are not confirming the high here, but the MACD is here. But who cares? You got the big buying pressure on both the 60 and the 30-minute, and look at the MACDs rising like that. When you have MACDs rising like that, okay, I'm sorry, ADX is rising like that. I apologize. When you have big buying pressure and the ADXs are rising on the 60 and the 30-minute time frame, and you get a deep oversold condition, not once but twice, you back up the truck, Gus. Okay, you buy the pullback on the 15. Monster long here, monster longs on Apple. Remember I told you on the 15-minute time frame, you'll get anywhere from 2 to 4, 2 to 3 great patterns a day. And here you got two great pullbacks on Apple off the 15-minute time frame. Okay, SMCI, boy, this stock's in trouble. SMCI reversed to sell here. Well, let me see. The 60 is still bullish. Okay, when the 30-minute time, I'll put the 30 here. You can see the negative MACDs here on SMCI. All right. Now, I caught this short on SMCI today. I said, look to short 41.30 up to 42.30. The high was 41.39, 9 cents into the range. Now, why? I already knew, because I look at every morning when I come in, I look at all my bigger time frames on every single name, the 30s and the 60s, to get a feel if there's buy divergences or sell divergences. In my morning notes to my community, I said I would look to buy any pullbacks off the 30 and 60-minute time frames. And I thought the 60-minute time frame was going to set up today. And it happened at the end of the day. And that's exactly right to the T what happened. That is an absolute Picasso on the spiders and on the Qs. The Qs ran from roughly 41.80, ran about $1.60. S&Ps ran up, what they run, about $1.90. The spiders, yeah, about $1.60, $1.70 there. Okay. Now, again, when SMCI reversed to sell on the 30-minute time frame, okay, you can see this was a short against the MACD non-confirming the high right here. Okay, if I draw my horizontal line, if this works, I think it should. Right there, you can see that the MACDs did not confirm the high on the 30-minute. Now, if I put the SMCI here on the 30-minute, right here, okay, you can see the 15-minute time frame was in sell mode. And then when the 30 reversed to sell, you have now a sell disconnect. Okay, so you have 2 out of 3 time frames that align. The 30 correlated with the 15. The 60 is still in buy mode. However, now what's happening is SMCI is in a sell disconnect from a buy disconnect. 2 out of 3 are negative, the 15 and the 30. So if I put the 15 here, okay, knowing that exactly at 1:30, the 30-minute time frame reversed to sell, you go to the 15, you switch it to the 5, which I'm not switching. I have my charts up dynamically. And then what do? At 1:30, you take the first short on the 5-minute time frame after 30-minute reverse to sell. SMCI 40.75, and you can see the drop of about 65-70 cents there in SMCI. Sorry. Okay. All right. So again, a lot of great patterns. S&P's closed up 13, Nasdaq up about 138, Tesla big contributor up 12, Apple up about 3, Microsoft acted like poo-poo, Palantir didn't do well, and Nvidia, believe it or not, Nvidia down on the day. Okay, so Nvidia's got trouble. So does Avago. AMD was a little strong here today, up about almost under 1%, up about $1. Coinbase up $1, and MSTR, great patterns and MSTR. All right, so showed you some really great examples of the ideas and of the trades of the day here. For me, again, like I said, these patterns repeat themselves each and every day. And I hope that you can join my community each and every day and be able to learn from me and really, really let me teach you, guide you, and be able to put you on the right track. I've been doing this over 41 years of my life. Been on four exchanges, traded nearly 2 billion shares of my life, worked with some of the biggest, traded my own, phenomenal track record, still doing it now, and also having the ability to work with some really big hedge funds in my life and the best of the best. So again, I'm very grateful and humbled. I love that I wake up each and every day and love what I do. And I love helping each and every one of you. I talk to people, I return phone calls, but not during the day. But at night, I talk to everybody, and my gift is to be able to try to help as many people as I can to really put you on the right track, because that means the world to me. You know, I went to Vegas this weekend. I flew on a Friday, flew home on a Sunday, 3,000 miles each way, 6 hour, was it 5.5 one way, 4.5 on the way back, or 4 on the way back, whatever. I was supposed to speak for an hour, and I only spoke for 30 minutes. And you know what? I didn't really care. Okay, I was exhausted, but the bottom line was I did it for the people that wanted me there, the people in my community, the people that really did whatever it took to come meet me. And I was just so overjoyed from meeting everybody and seeing faces now behind a name on a Discord or a chat. So I really did it for them. I really did. I didn't get paid for it. Just my expenses were paid, and I did it for them. And that, for me, I felt like they were just so happy to really, really get to meet me and talk. We sat around, we ate, we broke bread together. Saturday night, we had some drinks together with some, and you know what? It was just really, really engaging, and I loved it. And this is why I do this, because I really want to help as many people as I can with the knowledge I have and the God-given ability that I have. So now it's for me to give to you, and for you now to absorb everything I'm going to try to teach you. Okay, when I come back, I will tell you what I'm going to be thinking and what I expect the markets to do, because guess what? We nailed it today. I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so tomorrow at 8:30, we have a red number, as I call it, because it's one of 8 during the month, durable goods. Today we had consumer confidence at 10, really didn't really do much. But tomorrow at 8:30, we have durable goods. So the market should react, gold should react, bonds should react, index futures should react, okay? But let me tell you what I expect tomorrow. So S&P futures are 58.30. Again, we rallied off that 55.09. We rallied 330 points. I'm expecting any move up to between the 58.50 and the 58.80, 5900. I say 58.50, let them have them. Now, the weeklies, like I told you, are still negative, and that's the first time that we went into a sell mode on the weekly on the spiders since November 17th of 2023. Okay, that's a long time ago. Okay, many moons ago. All right, so the monthlies are still bullish. The dailies reversed to buy, so I do believe that 5,500 level should hold. Okay, I would say I'm probably about 85% on that. Now, I do expect to push up. Then once we get to an extreme overbought condition on the daily, which I'll show you, then I expect to push down. I expect the 57.23 gap on the S&Ps to drop. So that means if we do get up to 58.5 or 58.80, it's about a 160 point drop. And even if we went lower than that, I don't expect the dailies to reverse negative. And even if they did, for some whatever reason, meaning it might indicate, and I'm going to show all this to you in a minute, the MACDs are positive from below the pivot on the daily. So again, you see the terminology. I say the same things each and every day, and people learn from me. And guess what? It's just a matter of time before you get it. If you listen to me, because I believe in dynamic learning, I don't believe in reading books, dynamic learning and asking questions and watching, learning, and listening each and every day. I say the same things over and over again. You're going to be sick of my voice. Trust me. Okay. Now, for tomorrow, I expect a continuation on the 60-minute time frames. And now, granted, if we have a horrific durable goods number, this will all change. But again, let's just play into the fact that the 60-minute time frames are just starting to turn up. And as I showed you earlier, and I'll show you again, But here's the caveat, though. The MACDs on the 15 and the 30-minute time frames on the spiders, the diamonds, the Qs, the Russell are negative, which means any new highs combined with overbought conditions is going to be short-lived based upon my work. MSTR, Coinbase, okay? What else? Avago's finished. Forget it. Let's see here. NVIDIA. We have SMCI. We have Tesla negative on the 15 and the 30. Tesla's trading up over 2.5, 290.71 now in the pre-market, okay? $19 from the lows in Tesla off that 60-minute time frame, okay? Now, one of the things that I will tell you, okay, is that, again, we're getting long in the tooth here. We went from an extreme oversold condition. Now we're days away from an extreme overbought condition here. So I am short-term very bearish here. If we get into my range, 58.50, 5900, okay, likes of stocks like Netflix that rallied about 140 off the lows. S&P's over 300, okay? So again, with the MACDs negative on the 15 and the 30-minute time frame on the ETFs, a lot of stocks are following the identical same pattern here. If we gap up after the durable goods order, okay, I would look to say, let them have them, especially as they get up into my upper range, because watch what I'm going to show you, okay? If you look at the S&P futures here, and I'll bring up the daily, you can see we reversed the buy here, okay? We're 31 points now above the 10-bar moving average. When we were down here at 55, well, they rolled, but trust me, it was 55.09. We're in the June contract, so it calculated differently, okay? We rallied from 55.09 on the March contract. Now we roll to June, okay? We were 280 points from the low price to the 10-bar moving average. When you have anything of that nature, okay, normally the rule is anything is greater than 50. We're at 31 right now. So and that 50 is just a standard, okay? Now we can go to 100, okay? We can go to 100. However, right there, right now, we're 31 over. We were 280 off the lows to the 10-bar, which I showed you. Now we're 30 over. So we rallied 330 points off that low, roughly 321. Now, one other thing I want to show you here, okay, again, is the weekly. The weeklies are negative here. And this is a monster bear flag. Now, we're still 120 points from here. So even if you rally 50 or 80 points from here, get to 5,900, okay, all right, let's say 50, this brings it down to 70. And if it goes to 70, this will be negative 50, a long stretch. And look at the negative MACD. Where's this market going with this negative MACD and all this overhead resistance here? I don't know. You tell me. I don't think far. Okay. So anyway, with that being said, I'm looking for the move here. Now, I want to show you another thing here. Okay. Coming into the day on the spiders, let me just show this to you. Okay. The algorithm right here, would have reversed to sell at 561. Now it moved because the price moved. So coming into today, in order for the 60-minute time frame to reverse to sell, early this morning, I think the number was 561.82, 561.80 on my indicator 4. We would have had to drop nearly 100 points, which is $10 on the spiders, 100 points on the S&P, just to get a sell reversal on the 60-minute time frame. That's why I knew the market was going to go up. That's why the 30-minute time frame and the 60-minute time frame pulled in beautifully, and that's exactly what happened. Okay? All right. So again, durable goods orders tomorrow, and then it should be clear sailing. I'm looking for any push up here to meet a brick wall off these 30 and 15 and 30-minute time frames. Let the continuation of the 60-minute time frame, if we do go up, let it continue, get overbought, and then I look to short them. Okay? If we gap up big into these negative MACDs on the 15 and 30, well, the 60 is just going to get more. We'll probably get a lot higher on the oscillator 3 for an overbought condition. So we'll see what happens there. If we push down tomorrow, 567, the S&Ps right now are trading spiders 567.84, 575. So you're probably looking at almost $7.50, which is 75 points on the S&P. S&Ps would have to close below 57.50 in order to get the spiders to reverse to sell. I don't see that happening. So I think we're going up first and then down. Okay? All right. When I come back, another great story to share with you from one of my people that I talked to last night in my community. Okay, so last night I'm talking to someone, and it just seemed like the conversation was, it was very pleasant, but the conversation started shifting. And again, I'm not going to mention any names, but the conversation shifted to, why he's making very small profits and he's not seeing the big moves like we could. Just the last call on the S&P off the 60-minute time frame, they ran 19 points. NASDAQ futures on that, NASDAQ futures ran about 100%. Okay, pretty big move on the NASDAQ, right? So, but again, what is this about, right? So I said to him, why is this happening? Well, number one, he said that he trades with emotion. Okay, listen. And that he's scared and he's raising his stops and he's getting stopped out. So if he's got a nice little profit, he puts a stop and he gets I said, look at the pattern. Trade the pattern and let the pattern work. Like I said, I'm standing here at 215, 230. I said the 30-minute time frame is going to turn up. My yellow dots, which is the price within the algorithm, look like they're holding here. And the 60-minute time frame is getting oversold into a positive MACD, big buying pressure on the 60, and getting oversold into the rising ADX. You got 3 buy divergences there. No reason to be fearful. So look, I said to him, I can't control, I'm not a psychologist, okay? But I will tell you this, though, right? A friend of mine that I recently met a while back ago taught me you have to have what's called unconscious ability, right? You got to have confidence. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what I am showing you and teaching you. Okay? It's important to understand the following. You can't trade with emotion. You can't. I know we're all human beings, but this is the major leagues, okay? You can't, in my opinion, I'm like immune to it. And I'm 41 years plus in the industry, okay? But you can't trade with emotion, all right? You got to be calm. You got to look. You got to be able. It's like being in an F-18 fighter pilot, right? And being in an F-18, you can't have emotion, right? And I know it's easily said than done. But the second thing is you can't trade scared about losing money, okay? If that's the case, this is not for you, right? And I've been very fortunate in all the years. I've never had, I was close twice, but I never actually told somebody this is not for you. So when I talked to this gentleman last night, I said to him, you gotta understand the pattern, the rules, believe in yourself, believe in the work, believe in what I'm teaching you, believe in the math, believe in the strategy, okay? Have confidence and understand what I'm teaching you, okay, should work to your benefit. You got me as a mentor and you have technology, okay? And it's just now you learning the patterns better and understanding them, and I'm jumping up and down like a baboon, right? That you want to be able to fully understand what we're doing, okay? So again, I wanted to share this with you because a lot of people may suffer from this, but don't be your own worst enemy in trading. This is fun. I love it each and every day. The patterns are great, okay? And I love being able to teach each and every one of you. Okay, so with that being said, thank you for joining me tonight on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to join my community, please go to my website, sktrading.live. Please leave a comment. I try to answer all the comments early in the morning. Please follow me on my social media at official Stephen Kalayjian on X and on Instagram. and my cell phone number if you need to talk to me, even though I get yelled at for not giving out my cell phone number, but I'm the boss. 914-500-7484. I want to say God bless you. Have a great night, and God bless the United States of America. Good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow on the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly.
Thanks for tuning in to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe at sktrading.live or on your favorite podcast platform. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.